I'm joined by political analyst Karim Boulos to talk the provincial election race and a new party, Mouvement Québec. Thanks so much for joining us, Karim.
My pleasure.
A new Leger Journal de Montréal survey finds the CAQ remains on top. If the election would happen today, 44% of survey respondents would vote for François Legault's party, while the Liberals would have about 17% of votes. What do you make of this?
Well, I think people are not dissatisfied with Mr. Legault and the CAQ. Can we say that they're thrilled? Probably not. But I think that people are willing to give Mr. Legault and his team a chance, especially since the last 2+ years have been, marred by COVID and COVID management. He hasn't really had a chance to show what he can do for Quebec and what we can, expect in terms of greater projects other than protecting the health system from collapsing. I think people are willing to give him a chance, especially in the absence of a truly viable alternative. And when I say viable alternative, the Liberals were typically the go-to people. And I think Madame Anglade has had a difficult time rallying support for her message. Her message has been seen maybe a little bit too philosophical, too high level, and not really, addressing the concerns of Quebecers.
What do the Liberals need to do after capturing just 7% of the vote in the Marie-Victorin by-election?
Madame Anglade is not going to make tremendous inroads in the regions, so she has to secure Montreal. She has to explain to the eastern part of the city that she is relevant for francophones and protects the French language. She has to remind Anglophones and allophones, the rest of the city, that Liberals are the steady choice, the choice away from what we've been seeing with the mismanagement. She has to spin the reality around a little bit to show that the CAQ is not really there for all Quebecers, while the Liberals are. But again, that message hasn't really been working for the last 4 years.
Former Montreal mayoral candidate Alyssia Rubertucci announced he's jumping into provincial politics with Mouvement Québec. What do you think of the party? And do you think the focus will just be Montreal and not other provincial ridings?
I think Mr. Holness, I think, is a victim of his own ambition. I think he was very ambitious in the municipal election. He had run already with Valérie Plante's team in the Montreal North area and lost 4 years ago and lost again as leader. There was a certain controversy around his leadership style. So again, he's going to have to overcome hurdles coming right out of the gate. And I think that's a challenge. Now, we know that when we add more parties to the mix, all it does is divide the vote. And when you split the vote, it benefits the incumbent. So his presence, should he steal a seat or two, which would already be a tremendous success. And again, it's a big if. That will only help Mr. Legault, secure his majority once again.
Premier Legault seems to be on a regional tour right now. Do you think elections will happen sooner than October 3rd?
Unlikely. I think a summer election would be ridiculous. So September versus October, he is not losing ground. If things were slipping for Mr. Legault, we would see a possible, rush to the polls. But I think he's going to keep it for the beginning of October, and in that time, spend the time touring Quebec.
Thank you so much for joining us, Karim.
My pleasure.